Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Coach D coming at you. All right. First off, once you jump on, just put down the comments. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm tuning in from the Carolinas. Put down the comments. Let me know where you guys tuning in from. All right. And today, what we're going to talk about is we're going to talk about how you can actually stop feeling overwhelmed in your business and really narrow it down to two simple steps, like a two-step process. All right. And it's probably not what you're used to hearing about how to reduce or, avoid overwhelm, so I really want you to pay attention all the way through so you can get something from this and you can, really start applying this in your business and even in your life today. All right. Now, first off, for those who don't know me, I'm Coach D. All right. And I'm all about helping other network marketers like myself on their online entrepreneurs be able to increase in their business. I deal with things dealing with marketing, mindset, and multiple streams of income. Today, what we're going to talk about is we're going to really deal with the mindset today. All right. Now, when I first started online, back in 2018, it's been almost 3 years now. Right. When I first started, everything just seemed overwhelming, right? It was like people were talking about funnels, autoresponders, all these things, right? People were talking about, I needed to learn how to get leads and all this stuff. And I wasn't making any money either, right? A lot of times when we first start things, that can really be overwhelming in itself, right? And then you kind of get going, you think maybe you kind of got something going along or whatever. And then things can come along and kind of like knock you off your path and knock you off your circle, right? So that's kind of what we're going to address now. So if you've been going along your business, and things aren't really shaping up the way that you like, and you've been feeling like the pressure, right? Because a lot of times you get anxiety, right? Like let's be real, you get anxiety, because things aren't shaping up the way that you want. Maybe you're not understanding some of the training that you're getting or anything like that. Now, the reason why I wanted to touch on this is because this is something that came up, within my team, myself, okay, within my team. Right. And I had a talk with them and I said, what, this is something that other people need to hear. OK, so this is why I wanted to talk about this overwhelm. A lot of times, have you guys ever had a situation where you're doing something, right? And let's say you're going through a marketing program or whatever, right? Anything it is, you started your business, period, right? Have you at any point in time felt overwhelmed? If you have, put down in the comments to say, yeah, that's me, right? Now, even if you're not overwhelmed right now, but have you ever felt overwhelmed in your business at any point in time? Put down in the comments, say, yeah, that's me. Because I'm willing to bet you have. I know I have felt that before. Okay, so what I'm going to share with you is a really simple two-step process that you can do to really, get over that feeling. All right, stop feeling overwhelmed in your business. And like I said, it's not what you think. All right, but first, I want to kind of get some feedback from you guys. Let's make a list. Like, what are some things that you guys have been told or taught, or maybe that you even do, right, to combat the overwhelming feeling, like to stop feeling overwhelmed in your business? Like, tell me, put down in the comments, let me know. Hopefully I can see you guys' comments. Let me know, what is it that you guys do right now to stop feeling overwhelmed? And we're going to list some of them up here. All right. But you all right? I want you to stick around because I'm going to give you, I'm going to really simplify things. I'm going to break it down, okay, to just two simple steps. But I do want to talk about, some of the other things that you guys use to, stop feeling overwhelmed. So put down in the comments if you use anything now to stop, feeling overwhelmed. All right. So let's say right here, we're going to put to stop overwhelm. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to, like I said, we're going to list a couple things here that you probably have heard of, or maybe you do, right? Sometimes people will be like, oh, well, yeah, I avoid overwhelm, or I stop feeling overwhelmed, by like making a checklist, a to-do list, right? So maybe you'll make a to-do list, or in network marketing terms, we call that a daily method of operation, right? So let's say you got a DMO, right? Or a checklist, right, of things that you need to do. All right. This is something that, we were told to do, and this is something that's good, right? But it's not going to be as good as what I'm going to show you, right? Because I'm going to get down to the nitty gritty, the rooty tooty, okay, of what to do, all right? And I guarantee it not only works in business, it works in life, all right? But this is something that we were told, make a DMO, a checklist, so that way you know what to do each day. What are some of the other things that we were told as far as, getting rid of this overwhelm, or avoiding this overwhelm? What else were we told? We were told to actually learn, train, right? To learn whatever it is. Learn whatever it is that you're supposed to do, because when you do know how to do the thing, you don't have as much overwhelm, right? You kind of feel more at peace. So you learn how to do it, whatever it is you're doing. If it's marketing that you're doing, learn how to do it. If you're building funnels, you learn how to do it, and you feel less anxiety. You have less overwhelm, right? Now, while these things are good, right? They're great. Actually, we all do these things, right? We have a DMO, most of us, hopefully, right? Have a DMO. We learn how to do whatever it is, so we do the training, right? While these are good, do they really, let's look at it for a minute. Do they really address the root cause of the problem? Like, think about it for me. Do they really address the root cause of the problem? Are we having this overwhelm, just because we don't have a DMO? Check this out. There's tons of people out there that don't have a DMO and they don't feel overwhelmed. Are we having overwhelm just because we don't know how to do something? There's tons of things that we don't know how to do yet, right? But does that mean that we're automatically going to have overwhelm? No, it doesn't, right? So I got to thinking, and this is something, like I said, that I had to share with my team and I want to share with you guys. I got to thinking, I said, these things are good to do, right? But they're not part of the root cause of what's causing a lot of people to have overwhelm, in their business. So let's get down to it. Let's wipe these out. While these are good, let's wipe these out. Okay. And let's get down to really, what does it boil down to? All right. What do you really need to do to start reducing that overwhelm, to start, stop that feeling of feeling overwhelmed? What do we really need to do? Well, the first thing that we need to do, all right, is we need to identify what is stressing us out. We need to identify the stress. Think about it. How are you going to fix something if you don't know what's stressing you out? If you don't know what is causing your anxiety or causing your overwhelm, how are you going to fix something? So the first thing we need to do is identify it, right? You need to actually identify it, okay? Whatever it is that is causing your overwhelm, identify it. Identify the stress, okay? Identify the stress. And we're going to go into this. We're going to talk about this, okay? Now, after you identify the stress, okay, what do you want to do after you identify the stress? Now, first, let's talk about identifying the stress. Let's talk about that for a minute. Let's dig into that. Okay. Now, what are some of the things that stress people out? All right. Well, I'll tell you some of the things that used to stress me out, or make me feel overwhelmed, if you will. Right. And some of the things that may have you guys feeling overwhelmed as well. I'm willing to bet. Right. How about you get overwhelmed if you have a lot of training to do? Right. A lot of training, multiple trainings. Right? Because you're learning things, right? Multiple trainings. Okay? Multiple trainings. So that means when I'm saying multiple trainings, you probably have a hectic, kind of a hectic training schedule. Like maybe you train, maybe there's training that you have every single day, right? Monday through Friday. Let's just say you have training Monday through Friday, right? There's something that maybe there's some program that you join that you have training. Maybe there's multiple programs you join, but you have training on one of those, right? Multiple times, throughout the week. So let's say Monday through Friday, right? So let's say you have training Monday through Friday, right? That is something that people, will say causes them to have this overwhelm, because I've heard my teammates say this, like, oh man, I'm feeling really overwhelmed, because we train, right? We have training. There's things that we meet, we talk, we train, we do stuff, we take action, right? Okay. So let's say one of these things is like, you're like, man, I'm just training a whole bunch. This is one of the things that's, having me be, feeling overwhelmed. All right. Here's another one. What if it's not just that it's a lot of days of training? What if it's a lot of training, period? Okay. What if it's just a lot of videos, a lot of videos that you got to catch up on? Lots of videos. All right. So not only you have multiple days of training, but let's say it's a lot of videos that you have to catch up on. Lots of videos. Okay. Lots of videos. All right. What if, all right, let's say another one that causes people, right, that you need to identify the stress, right, that causes people to have this overwhelm. How about another one is a lot of tasks to do. Let's say you just have a lot of stuff to do in your business, right? A lot of tasks. Lots of tasks. Okay. Let's say you have a lot of tasks to do, right? These are things, that people, will say that is overwhelming them, and once you identify it, like I said, you want to identify, right? Because you can rectify it once you identify it. Okay. If you guys are feeling what I'm saying, put down the comments. If you understand that the first thing you need to do is identify, put down the comments and say, identify, put down the comments and say, identify. Okay, because that's the first thing you need to do is you need to identify whatever it is that's causing this overwhelm. Okay, and these are some of the things that people say are causing, that will cause their overwhelm or have caused your overwhelm in the past. Whether you have multiple days of training, right? You have lots of videos that you got to catch up on. And let's say you have a lot of things to do. Your list is long. Your tasks, there's a lot of tasks that you need to do. Right? Are long. Right? And here's the deal. This is common. This is just things that we go through. Right? We get it. But that's the first step. Remember I told you it's a simple 2-step process, right? This is the first step. Once you identify that, right, what are you going to do then? Now, here's where the sauce comes in. And it is so simple to the point that a lot of us overlook it. Dead serious. Like I used to overlook it as well. I recently, probably like, when I say recently, probably like in the last maybe year, right? Probably the last year, I started doing this process and things just got way better. This is one of the reasons why people were like, D, man, oh my goodness, I see you all over the place, man. You're doing so many things. Oh my goodness, how can you do it? Or whatever, because I learned this 2-step process that I'm giving you guys. I promise you, in the last year, I've learned this 2-step process. This is just number 1. I'm going to give you number 2, but I promise you guys, I learned this 2-step process, and this is how I'm able to do it and still have a life. Okay, to whereas you guys see me on video, things of that nature, see my post or whatever, but there's tons of people who spend way more time on social media than I do, right? Because I learned this 2-step process that I'm giving you guys. And this is step 1, okay? So we got to identify the stress, right? And like I said, these can be some of the stresses, the multiple trainings, throughout the week, right? Lots of videos that you got to get caught up on, or a lot of tasks that you got to do. These are some of the things that can make you feel overwhelmed. And what we got here? What's going on, Nikki? Say you are so real. I love it. Absolutely. I appreciate you for tuning in, sis. All right, so let's get into the sauce right here. All right, I'm gonna give y'all the sauce. Like seriously. Like I said, it's about to be, it's gonna be so simple, right? That you didn't think about it, but I promise you guys, if you start doing this 2-step process, I promise you it's gonna help you. Like for real. I am dead serious. Okay. So let's go on to number 2. All right, because this is where we get into, once we identify the problem, right? Now we're about to get into, let's go ahead and make it shake and move. Right? Let's make it shake and move. Now, what is the number 2? What is the second part that we need to do? Okay. What's the second part that we need to do? We need to change. Check this out now. Change thought process. Change your thought process. Okay. And we can also say change your mindset. We can say that as well. But let's say change. I like change your mindset better. All right. And I'm going to explain this. Because before you say, oh, yeah, I know what that means, change the mindset. No, you don't. Because if you're still dealing with this overwhelm consistently, because we all get it sometimes, but if you're still dealing with it consistently, then you don't understand what I'm saying. So stick around, okay? Change your mindset. And this is the way I had to break this down. And this is the way I'm going to break it down to you guys, okay? Now, remember I said some of the things that we deal with, right? That causes frustration. Pay attention. Remember I said that we deal with the fact that we have, for example, we deal with the fact that we have multiple days of training, all right? Multiple training days, right? Okay? Like things that I'm in have me training, they have things scheduled Monday through Thursday, sometimes Monday through Friday, okay? So things that I'm in have, there's something scheduled each day, Monday through Thursday, sometimes Monday through Friday, right? Now, change the mindset. Now, I'm about to break this down to you. Like, I want y'all to pay attention. Like, I promise y'all this is going to help y'all. Because this is what I had to explain to my team. When I'm saying it change your mindset, you need to remember something. Hear me. You need to remember that before you started your online business, right? What were you? You were an adult. Hear me. Before you started your online business, what were you? You were an adult. So let's say, okay, you have this adult, you being an adult. I don't know how old you are, but let's just throw it out there. Let's say you're 40. Okay, let's say you're 40. Okay, let's say you're 40 years old, right? You were an adult before you started online. Let's say you were 40 years old, right? What does that mean? That means that if let's say on the schedule that I give my team, right? Let's say that I have scheduled training Monday through Friday. Let's just say, what does that mean for you if you were an adult before you got online, right? When you get online, what's happening is a lot of people are now going back to the fetal position. They're now acting like they're now 7. And let me explain, and this is not a downer. This is an eye-opening thing. This is not to down anyone, because I don't down folk, and I damn sure don't down my team. Like, you know what I mean? They rock with me, for real, But check this out. So if I say, hey, guys, we got training Monday at 8 o'clock. And let's say you know, right, that what you have going on at the pace that you're going in the business, right, because of life or whatever, but at the pace you're going on, you're like, damn, man, if I go to that training on Monday at 8, I'm probably going to be way far behind, and I'm going to feel stressed about that thing, right? Meaning you stressed, right? You overwhelmed. So then what do you do? What do you do? Now, mind you, you were 40 years old before you got online, right? Now, this is what's happening. A lot of people are allowing themselves to feel overwhelmed because they feel like they can't miss a training. They feel like that if someone says, if a leader says, or a company says that you need to be at this training at this time, that means if they miss it, that the world's going to end. Now, that's what kids do. That's, if you're 7, that's what we be thinking when we're 7. We be like, man, we can't miss anything because if we do, we're going to get in trouble. Newsflash. Check me out. Newsflash. There is no trouble you can ever get in, right? Unless you break a law, but we ain't talking about breaking laws, you feel me? There is no trouble that some other person is going to put you in. You understand? Like, if you don't show up to a training because you're like, you know what? I'm bowing out of that one. I'll catch the replay at some point, but I need to focus on this right here to keep my stress, proper and keep my vibrations up, right? You know what I mean? I need to, kind of tweak my schedule, right? You ain't 7. You're 40, right? Some people are feeling like if they don't show up, then maybe somebody's going to say something negative to them. Like, you ain't showing up for training. That's why you're losing this and that and the third. Change your mindset, baby. Because this is what I had to do, guys. Real talk. When I changed my mindset, when I realized, hear me, when I realized that it didn't matter how much money someone else had made or how much money I had not made at that time, right? It didn't matter. What mattered is that when I got online, I was 40, which meant I'm a grown woman, right? Which meant that I rule me. Follow me. You rule you. When you relinquish your power, right? Because we all have our own power over ourselves, right? When you relinquish your power, your mindset is such that someone else rules you. And when that happens, yes, we feel stressed and overwhelmed in our business because we're like, oh, we got to do all these things because all of these people said I got to do all these things. Newsflash. No, you don't. I'm going to ask y'all. If I tell you guys, I say, hey, we have a training Monday through Friday, right? Some different type of training, whatever, right? And I'm like, hey, it's at whatever time the schedule is, right? And you know what you got going on, right? In your life and business and how far along you are, right? And you decide that you don't show up, right? What can I do to you? What can I do to you? What can I do to you? Somebody tell me. Tell me. Somebody put down in the comments. Let me know. What can I do to you? Nothing. Because I don't control you. That's a mindset thing, though. That's a mindset thing, right? So when you start changing your mindset about these things that are going on, you immediately start to feel less stress, less overwhelmed. You guys know that, like I said, like on my schedule, like Monday through Thursday, and sometimes Monday through Friday, that somebody on my schedule is doing a training, right? Whether I'm doing a training, because I don't do a training all them days, right? Whether I'm giving the training or whether I'm attending the training. I'm gonna be 100 with y'all. How many of these trainings let's say if it's 5, in a week, because a lot of times it's 4, but sometimes it's 5, right? Sometimes it's 5. So if it's 5 trainings, right? It's 5 going on. Let's say it's 5, right? Now, some of these I give, so I got to show up, right? But I don't give all of them, right? So let's say out of 5, I give 2. So let's say there's 3 that I don't give. Let's say I give 2 and 3 that are not mine, that I don't give, right? I'm supposed to show up, but I don't give them. I'm not the one directing the training, right? Let's say it's 3 of them. Do you want to know how many of these I catch in a week? Do y'all want to know how many of these I catch? How many of y'all think that I actually show up to live? How many of y'all think that I show up to live? I want to know, right? I want to know, like, what do y'all think? How many do y'all think I show up to live? I have 5, typically 5 on my schedule, sometimes 4, sometimes 5, right? I give 2, so that only leaves 3 left. How many of y'all think I show up to live? Out of the 3 that I'm not the one giving the training, I typically will show up to 1. Now, before you say, well, D, but there's 3 left, right? That other people are giving that you're supposed to be at, because that's the schedule. You're supposed to be there. And then if you don't be there, you're not gonna make no money and blah, right? Guys, I was 40 when I started online, right? So obviously I'm not 40 now, but my point is I wasn't 7 and I'm not 7 now. So the key, this is what I found, which is the second step, right, of changing the mindset, is I changed my mindset to understand that I control me. I control me, right? So when you understand that you control your life, right, that you control what you do in a day, what you do in that week, what you do in that month, that you control that, right, that other people don't control you, then it becomes less stressful for you. And you say, okay, let me see what I need to show up to, right, without having this absorbent amount of overwhelm. Because what happens when you get all this overwhelm? You don't do nothing. You'll be too stressed out to do anything. You wind up quitting even, right? When you change your mindset, then you'll understand who's running you, right? When we're talking about humans, okay? All right, we're not getting into the spiritual realm on this live. But what I'm talking about is you'll understand that on a human level, you're running you, right? So you can make decisions. And this is one of the things that I had to explain, to my team, because they were saying it, not all of them, but a couple of them, were saying it. So if a couple of them saying it, there's probably more that wasn't saying it, right? They were overwhelmed, then that third. And like I said, I don't give all these trainings, right? But, I know the things that they're in, some of the things that they're in anyway, that has different trainings and everything like that. So I had to explain to them, guys, you run you, right? So let's say this right here. Let's say this. Let's say it's not the multiple trainings in a week, right? Let's say it's this. Let's say it's this right here, okay? That it's a whole bunch of videos, right? Because let's say, you join something and it has a lot of videos that you got to get caught up on, right? So let's say it's a lot of videos, right? A lot of videos, okay? A lot of videos you got to get caught up on, right? The first thing that happens to people is they feel like they're behind. Oh my gosh, I got to get caught up. I got to get caught up because I'm behind. Everybody else can watch all the videos and I didn't. Right? This is why we get, and then we have this overwhelm again, right? In our business. Because we see, I don't know, 12 videos or 20 videos, whatever. Let's say you see 20 videos back there, right? And we're trying our best to hurry up and get through them videos so we can catch up. I'm gonna ask you guys something and tell me what you think. Tell me what you think, like for real, okay? Let's say of the things that I follow, right? Meaning they have training and and I'm working through the training and everything, right? Let's say, like for real, one thing that I have has like, gosh, I don't know, it might got like 100 videos, right? Real talk, right? Another thing I might got like 20 videos, right? Let's say, right? I want you guys to tell me of these videos that are back there. Answer this for me. I'm going to ask you, how many of these videos do you think that I've watched? Let me, I just want to know, how many videos do you think that I've watched? One has like 100. It probably got more than 100. One has like 20, right? And I'm only talking about the things that I actually be watching the videos on. or that I'm paying attention to. I'll put it that way. Okay. Because I don't pay attention to everything, right? Everything doesn't concern me, right? But okay. Out of this, one of them has 100. How many of these 100 videos you think I watched? Now, this thing that has 100, I've been in for like a year. So is that enough time to have watched 100 videos? Yeah, sure is. I probably watched, out of the 100, I've probably watched maybe 20. I've probably watched maybe about 20 of them in a year's time. The one that got like 20 videos, how many of them did I watch? And this hasn't been a year, but how many of them did I watch? 2. Why? Because I understand, right, that one of the sources that can lead to my overwhelm is me being stuck in training mode, right, and watching videos all day day, right? I understand that, right? So what did I do? I changed my mindset about these videos, and I said, you know what? Who runs me? Right? Is there anybody who is responsible for my failure or my success other than me? Hear me. Is there anyone who's responsible for my failure or my success other than me? Because the first thing that happens when you fail, people sure enough will point the finger at you, right? So that's letting you know that they're not responsible for your failure, are they? And when you succeed and you're making a commission, on whatever, I don't care if it's a $5 commission, let me get that, right? When you succeed, who gonna spend the money? Who gonna spend the money when you get the $5 commission or the 500 commission or the 1,000 or whatever? Who gonna spend the money? Is it the people online gonna spend the money for you? Or are you gonna spend your money? You and your family, I'm saying. Y'all gonna spend your money. Which one? Who gonna spend your money? Well, I'm gonna tell you who's spending my money, me. Ain't none of y'all online spending my money, right? So that means that I'm in control of my success or my failure. So if I'm in control of my success or my failure, then I'm also in control of how many of these videos I consume every day. You understand? So I will pick and choose which videos I'm going to watch based on what I need to know at that time. A topic that I may be struggling with or whatever the case may be, right? I'm not watching all of these videos until I need to watch all the videos, because I'm not going to allow this, right, to lead to a stress point to where I'm feeling overwhelmed in my business. And people say, well, man, D, I would have thought you was watching all them dang on videos, man, because because you do make commissions. Yeah, I do make commissions. And I do it with very little overwhelm. Because of this 2-step process I'm sharing with y'all. Because I had to change my mindset about these things. You can't look at these things, right? I've learned not to look at these things as mandates. As if you don't watch all 100 of these videos, you're going to lose. If you don't watch all 20 of these videos, you're going to lose. Who says? If I didn't say it, then it don't count. Why? Because I'm in control of me. My mindset is set in such a way that I understand that I'm in control of my success and my failure. Me. I'm the only human that's in control of that. The other humans, right? You guys are not in control of my success or my failure. You're not. You can't cause me to fail, and you can't cause me to succeed. That's me. So when you change your mindset and you're thinking on these lines, then immediately you're like, you know what? I don't need to stress about the fact that I'm not going to be able to make that next training because I got these other things that I really need to get done or whatever, or because, me and my wife are arguing or something, and maybe you're just not in the right mindset to even work, or maybe you got to go to your kids' recital. Well, I don't even know if they got recitals, but you got to go do something with your kids, or because you know what, I've been working all week and I just need a day off. I just want to go and walk around the park with my mask on, right? Whatever, right? You'll have way less stress if you change your mindset about how you look at the things that you have identified as the things that are causing you stress. You'll have way less stress, right? So these are some of the things, like I said, that I talked to my team about, because this is not something, and this is another thing, this is not something that I can do for you or any I don't care, any mentor, leader, whatever, they can't do this for you. They cannot do it for you, right? Because you know what's stressing you, right? You know what's causing the overwhelm in your life, in your business. You know it, right? So you have to identify. You got to get real with yourself, right? Get real with yourself and say, what's really causing this, man? Like what's really causing this overwhelm? And a lot of times in online business, it's the things that I'm talking about. It's because we have training, multiple days, there's different trainings. It could be the training time. It could be the amount of videos we have to watch. It could also be this. Check this out. Here's one. Check this out. Okay. How about the tasks, the things, okay, that you have to do? Let's say the task that you have to do. Okay. This is one that'll stress people out. The task that you have to do. Task to do. Okay. People are like, man, I know I'm supposed to, do this, right? Like, for instance, I'm gonna use a real world example. Let's say one of the things you need to do is you need to work on your profile, right? Fix your cover photo, right? Let's say. That's right, Greg. You already know. You already know, bro. Let's say one of the things you need to do is you need to fix your cover photo, right? For Facebook, right? Because you'll be marketing on Facebook. You don't want to have a picture of your doggy up there and everything, just your doggy, because, we don't want to do business with your doggy. But let's say that's one of the things to do. Now, why would that stress a person out? Well, let's say it's like, okay, well, look, let's say your trainer tells you to do it a certain way, okay? A certain way with certain colors. Let's say a certain way, okay, with certain colors, okay? I'm going to tell you what I do and why I don't get overwhelmed with stuff like this. This is what I do. I say, okay, well, let's say this is one of the tasks, and this is a task that I had to do, right? That I chose to do. I say, okay, it's supposed to be doing a certain way. I look and I see, okay, does that certain way flow with the way that I want to be seen? Yeah, do. All right, cool. So let me go ahead and do that. Does the certain colors flow with the colors I want? No, it don't. So I ain't using those colors, right? It's literally just that simple. You choose, because you have to have the mindset, right? And understand that you cause your success and you cause your failure. So if I go and I say, well, you know what, man, I don't want to change my profile photo or my cover photo, whatever, because I want to be portrayed a different way, and I don't change it. Who money am I hurting? Greg, am I taking your money? Greg, is it costing you money by me not changing my cover photo? Is it costing you money? Nikki, is it costing you money? Right? It's me, right? So when you understand that you're in control of your success or your failure, right, then you make decisions on what you want to do based upon your whole agenda, your whole long-term goal, because you got them. You got goals, right? You got, wherever it is you want to go, whether they're short-term or long-term, you got something in mind, right? We all got something. And not everybody's goal is the same as your goal, and that's okay. So for example, if I give a training, right, in my group, if I give a training for my team, and I say, hey guys, this is how you can change your profile photo or your cover photo rather, so it can look, really nice or whatever. And I say, hey, homework is due on Monday, right? Because I typically tell them homework is due on Monday. Homework is due on Monday. Okay, check this out. And let's say Monday come and your homework's not done, or it's done, but it wasn't to the specifications I gave. Then guess what I'm gonna say? Did you need help with it? Or is that what you're rocking with? Okay, cool. We on to the next. Why? Because the same way I'm in control of me and my failure and my success, so are you. You're in control of your success or failure, right? So if you choose, you made a choice to do it the certain way that I propose on a training and to use certain colors, right? And you choose to do it differently. That's just what that is. You made a choice, because I'm not going to be able to spend your money when you make your money, and I'm not going to be there wallowing in the sorrow when you fail. If you fail, not saying we all fail at something, so there's that, okay, and that's okay, okay. But my point is that I'm not feeling it either way, right? You are. So then you get to decide. And that is going to take a lot of weight off of you. I'm telling you guys, it is going to take a lot of weight off you when you realize that you're in control of these things, right? So when someone, says, do this, that, and the third, and if it's really not rocking with you for whatever reason, you know what I mean? You got your own reasons, your own goals that you want for your business. It's not rocking with you, then do what you want. You choose. Because whether they say, well, if you don't want to do it this way, then, we're going to take this away from you. It is what it is. You was 40. Guys, you was 40 when you started, just for example, right? And I know every last person who's watching me, right, was making money at something before they decided to try and make money online. You was making money at something, right? So guess what? It's a whole bunch of people making money that ain't doing what we're doing. So let's just keep this 100. Let's stop thinking this is the only way to make money. Let's keep that 100. Okay, let's stop thinking that these biz ops is the only way we can make money. Let's keep that 100. Okay, so you still got to live with you. You still got to live with you, right? So if something's not rocking with you, you make a choice. Your choice may be different from mine because my goals may be different. My tolerance may be different. My skill set may be different. I can do something faster, so I'm not worried about it. I may have the money to hire someone to do something that maybe you don't have the extra funds right now to hire someone to do something. You know what I mean? So maybe that's not the route you're going. But you got to make these decisions. I can't make them for you. No so-called leader can make it for you. No so-called guru can make it for you because you are the one who's either going to bask in the success or cry in the failure. It's going to still be you. At the end of the day, when D stops teaching and stops training, right? When D stops showing up on Facebook to peep y'all the game, right? It's still going to be you. You still going to be with you, right? So this is why I can do different things and multiple things, right? And they don't overwhelm me in my business because I learned this to identify the stress and then change my mindset about it, right? And understand who's in control, right? On a human level. And then you do what you're going to do. But now, with that being said, keep in mind, with that being said, and I got to say this. What's going on, Christelle? Thanks for tuning in. With that being said, I got to say this now because I would be, leading people astray if I didn't say this. Do understand the same way that I'm telling you that you are in control, right? That means you all the way in control, which means you now don't get the privilege of coming to crying to somebody about you ain't winning. Hear me. So don't try and take part of this and don't take all of it. You don't get the privilege of crying on someone's shoulder about how much money you did not make, how many leads you are not getting. Because you know what they're going to say. Well, bro, sis, I did, give you a training that said put your profile a certain way. I did give you a training to say use certain colors because they pop. I did. But I see that you didn't do your profile a certain way and you didn't do colors that pop. So there ain't nobody going to want to hear that. Right? So just keep that in mind. And how does that part not affect me? Because I ain't crying on nobody's shoulder anyway. Why? Because I changed my mindset and I understand that I control my success and I control my failure. So you're never, ever in life going to hear me crying about the sales I didn't make. I don't care back when I was first starting and, sponsors were what they were. You know how that be, right? I wasn't crying on their shoulder then talking about, oh, you didn't help me. Even when I wasn't making money and I didn't know what the heck to do. And I thought it was going to help me and I didn't get the help that I thought I was going to get. I still didn't cry on their shoulder. So you don't get to go crying on their shoulder either. Okay? Because you're in control. Okay? You're in control. But I promise you guys, this is way less stressful, way less overwhelming. When you do this two-step process, identify your stress and change the mindset is way less overwhelming than whether or not you win or not. I'm for real. Because if you so stressed out and you still ain't won yet, and because it still take time to win, right? And you so stressed out, you liable to quit before you even win. You know what I mean? Because you're so overwhelmed. because you're so worried about trying to show up to every training because somebody told you to. I don't care if my mama said show up to every training. I'm like, mama, how many of these bills you paying, baby? I don't see none of the mama's money up in her. I don't see none of mama's cards in here. None of mama's cards. Okay? How many bills you paying, baby? Right? Because I run me. Right? I choose to do certain things. And if something is overwhelming me, right? I go back to identify the stress, change my mindset about whatever it is that I need to do. And then I rock with it. And you take it how it comes. You go ahead because, nothing gonna be perfect. Nothing you ever do will ever be perfect because nobody's perfect, right? So why are you trying to chase perfection anyway? Chase your perfect self versus the world's perfection. Chase your perfection, your perfect self. And part of your perfect self is you not being as overwhelmed as some people get as it can happen because we ain't understanding that we need to change our mindset. That I'm sure that's not what you envision yourself as part of you being your perfect self, right? Is that making sense? Exactly. I might mess your name up, so I ain't even gonna say it, but I see you, Hannah. I see it. Exactly. And like I said, I know if some people on my team were going through it, right? And it wasn't a lot, at least it wasn't a lot that said anything, right? But I know if they were going through it, I said, okay. I said, other people are probably going through this. Because like I said, I've been there. I just didn't stay in that position that long. But I have been there, because you get online and you're trying to follow, whoever you joined, right? You're trying to follow them because they made money yet. You haven't made money yet. You're trying to follow them this, that, third. You're trying to do everything perfect. You're trying to follow everything. And then you get overwhelmed. You're like, dang, man, but I want to follow this person too. And because I see how that can help me kind of mesh things together. And then you follow them. And then sometimes the information clash or sometimes the dates clash, like this and this. And you're like, oh, God, I can't be in two places at once. Choose. This is what I had to figure out. Choose. Right? What? Like, if they say, well, if you don't come over here, I'm going to kick you out of the group. Well, it is what it is. It is what it is. I'm going to still be me. Because I have that mindset that nobody control my success but me. Nobody controls my failures but me. And no matter what you may think about who controls your success and failure, as far as other people, you're going to soon realize that nobody don't control it but you. Nobody don't control that but you. Nobody's up there spending your money when you make it. Nobody's up there picking you up off the ground. I'm talking about, the Facebook people. Nobody's up here picking you up off the ground when you crying at night because you didn't make no money in the last 5 months. You know what I'm saying? Lights done got cut off. Nobody's picking you up off the ground. We don't even see you. So then why allow us to have you so stressed that you're overwhelming your business because you're trying to be the perfect person to us. And you're trying to follow every single thing that we're saying to do. You got to be, if you was 40 when you came online, man, you got to be 40. If you're 41 now, you got to be that. Do not revert back to being 7, where you relying on somebody to, fix everything that you come across in your life, right? As you go across your business journey, you relying on other people to fix everything for you. Nah, they're not going to do it. I promise you they're not going to do it. They're not. And you're going to be disappointed because they're not going to fix your stuff because it ain't on them to fix your stuff. It's on you. So you got to have that right mindset, right? To understand that you delegate these things. You delegate those, right? You delegate on what you're going to do, when you're going to do it based on what you want to achieve. Now, yes, I want to achieve a lot, right? There's a lot of things that I want to achieve, right? And a lot of it takes bread. It takes money, right? So yes, I want to make money, right? So yes, there are tasks that I'm assigned to do, or, that a training says to do, that I'm gonna be like, you know what? I don't feel like doing this, but it ain't gonna hurt me. It's gonna actually help me. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that because I want to make some more money. But that may not be your goal. I think your goal is to make money, right? But I still made that choice. Nobody's gonna make a choice for me, right? Nobody's gonna choose for me because they're not gonna be there when there's failure, and they're not gonna have to take the brunt of that failure, and they're not spending the bread that I make, right? They're not up here giving the value, right, to whoever shows up. They're not giving that value freely and willingly. I'm doing that. I'm putting in that effort. You guys are putting in that effort. When you post on Facebook every day or every other day, however often you post, or when you do a live video and you're helping people with your value, or you post your value, you know what I mean? Or you're talking to people in Messenger, and sometimes that talk can go like an hour or so. I mean, I had a talk today with a teammate, and we talked for like an hour and a half. The other day, I talked with another young lady, you know, and we talked for like an hour and a half. Sometimes it gets like that, right? But guess who putting in that effort, who putting in that work? You doing that, or I'm doing that. Nobody's doing that for you. It's you. You got these choices. You have this control, right? And you do not have to relinquish it because of something that you join or that you promote or whatever. You don't have to relinquish it. You choose to relinquish it. And that causes stress on you. That causes the overwhelm on you because you done gave up. You don't gave up the power of your destiny, because what you thinking, I'm going to tell you what you probably thinking. You thinking that you can't make money and nothing else. Man, people was making money before all this online stuff. Our mamas and daddies was making money, wasn't they? We got fed, so they had to make money somehow, right? There was millionaires and billionaires and trillionaires before Facebook was even around, wasn't it? Come on, y'all. Come on. Be the adults that we are, whatever your age. If you're 40, be the adult, be the 40-year-old adult and make decisions and be okay with that. And don't go crying to people about your failures now, right? Because then they're going to throw stuff back up in your face, probably, right? So, but make these decisions and understand you are in control of this. You control whatever it is that you do because you control the outcome, right? And then you decide, is this what you're going to do, or you either going to do it or you ain't going to do it, and that's what that is, and just keep it moving, right? Shrug it off. Boop, 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 boop. Like I was talking to one of my, I was talking to a couple of my colleagues, and I told them, I said, when I realized this, true story, when I realized this, I said, there's a lot of people that when we get online, we're really timid about things, you know, like, we want to walk a straight line. We're like on eggshells. We don't even want to ask anything because we're afraid that we'll be banned from something or kicked out of a group or something, right? You know, if we ask a question. Y'all want to know how many groups I done got kicked out of? Y'all want to know how many groups I done got kicked out of? 1, 2, 3. Right? Now, was it because, I'm just, being belligerent? No, I mean, I'm not. That's not even me. Right? It's not even my character, right? There were different things, right? But what it boiled down to is I got my own mind, is what it boiled down to, is I have my own mind. And ask me how much money I made after that and still making it. So when I get done counting, I'll let y'all know because I'm still making it. That's my point. People don't rule you. You rule you, and you make decisions. But you got to change your mindset so that you can do that, to make decisions. And when you feel like something is not rocking with you, then sidestep and keep it moving. Keep it moving. Keep it moving. Sidestep and keep it moving. Because I promise you, everybody online, right? You made money doing something before you got online. Don't revert back to the fetal position with a thumb in your mouth, waiting on your mama's breasts or something. Don't revert back. You don't have to. Be an adult, make decisions, but own that. Own that. Own your success and own your failure. Own that. Own that. Right? And make decisions. And then I promise y'all, when I started doing that, then it didn't matter. Excuse me. It didn't matter, about this long list of things that I need to do, because I'm in different programs, right? And they have different things, right? It didn't matter about this long list of things to do. Well, let's see what I'm going to get done today. All right, let's work on this. Let's work on this. Oh, somebody said they wanted to have a call about this. Like, I have things on my to-do list every day, right? Somebody today, I actually talked to them yesterday. Real story. I talked to them yesterday, a colleague, and he said, D, I asked him about some trading he was doing. And y'all know I don't do crypto forex trading or anything. I don't know how to do it. It's not my interest. He said, well, D, you should look into it. He said, because you're pretty smart, and he said, it's something you can do and you don't have to recruit or anything like that, right? I said, And I actually trust this person. Okay, I actually trust this colleague. Okay, I don't trust everybody, but I trust this person. I said, okay. And so he said, I could jump on a call with you tomorrow. This is what he said. Yes, he said, I could jump on a call with you tomorrow. So, okay. Right? Now, I know I have things to do. right? There's trainings going on, everything. I got things to do, right? I said, okay. So what did I choose to do? I'm going to accept that call. Like literally when I get over here, I'm going to go and say, hey, bro, I'm ready to have that call. Because I'm choosing to see what he's talking about, right? Because I got a long-term goal, right? And nobody is in control of my success or my failure but me. So I sidestep. I do what I need to do. And that's exactly what I'm telling you guys. You know, that it's just that simple. Once you identify the stress and then change your mindset about whatever it is that's underneath that stress. Change your mindset about it and just remember that you're in control of it. You're in control of it. So if you need to let something go, let it go. Sometimes you just gotta let it go, right? You gotta let it go. It's okay. It's all right. You still gonna breathe the next day. It's okay. I probably any stuff online, you still gonna breathe the next day. It's okay, right? Because sometimes, you know, there's been times when I've made a move like that, and I'd be like, all right, I'm supposed to be doing this, but man, that may not be beneficial right at the particular moment, that other thing, but I see a purpose in it, but I need at least learn it, and that person is offering their time right now, so let me put something down, and let me go over here and see what they're talking about, because I need to learn that right now to see if it's something that can play into my long-term plan. So I'll pivot, and I'm going to go do that right there. And do all of it pan out? No. Does a lot of it pan out? Yeah. Just blessed. A lot of it does pan out. I don't know it's going to pan out because I don't know how it goes. I don't be knowing until I do it. But I make a decision to go ahead and see what's what and not be stressed about what I didn't get done. Not be stressed about I have a checklist of, you know, however many things that I didn't get done. It's okay. It's all right. Because if I'm too stressed, if I'm too overwhelmed, then guess what? I'm not going to do nothing. And then that means tomorrow I'm not going to do nothing. And the next day I might be depressed, right? You don't want to get that far. You know what I'm saying? Right? I'm just telling you guys what I've learned, what I've realized. 2 simple process right there to stop the overwhelm in your business. All right. So if this is, she said, do you right? What's going on, Sandra? What's going on, sis? Guys, if this is resonate with you, please do go ahead and share this out because I know other people need to hear this. Share this out, right? Throw me up some hearts, show me some love, and put down in the comments, say, I'm with you, D. If you feel me, right, put down in the comments, say, I'm with you, D. If you don't feel me, that's fine. I'm not going to chase you down, right? But if you feel me, put down in the comments, say, I'm with you, D. Now, before I jump off of here, of course, you know, I love training, right? I love training, right? So if you want to link up with a platform that allows you to be you, to build your business the way you want to do it, to build your brand the way you want to do it, you know what I'm saying? And learn in the process, but also be allowed to fail in the process. Okay, then put that in the comments and say, show me, D. And I'll show you, right, what I use that allows me to win and fail in the process, allows me to build, if I got an MLM or whatever, you know, to build that. If I do have Forex or whatever, that allows me to build that the way that I want to build that and keep me, right? Allow me to be me. Allow me to fail if that's what I'm going to do and allow me to win, right? If that's something that you guys are looking for, you say, you know what? I at least want to take a look. Just say, show me, D, and you can at least take a look. Ain't no obligation. You can at least take a look. Other than that, guys, I appreciate you coming out. Miss Hannah, Sandra, oh my God, Aliana. Y'all know y'all be messing me up. Crystal, Greg, Dallas, Nikki, I appreciate you guys tuning in. Anybody else that tuned in and I didn't see your comment down there, much love. Catch it on the replay. Much love. All right, other than that, y'all already know this is Coach D, baby. What we're going to do? We're going to take this ride to the top. All right, and we